It is Arsenal that have made it through last night, beating Porto on penalties 4-2. Some really, really good performances, standout performances, especially from David Raya, who was the man of the match. Bunch of contenders for that man of the match, in my opinion. If it wasn't him, it would have been Odegaard. 100%, the way he controlled the game and just pulled the team along. Proper captain's performance. You saw him after the game, exhausted. Everyone coming up to him, congratulating him, giving him hugs. Even a video of his girlfriend rubbing his feet as he fell asleep on the couch at home. We are so lucky to have Odegaard. The insight that Mikel had to bring him into this club, first of all on loan, which was exciting enough, but then to make the move permanent, as impressive as he was, to then make him the captain of this football club. We are extremely, extremely lucky to have both Mikel and Odegaard at this football club, and I hope that it lasts a very, very long time, because last night was exhilarating watching that. Frustrating, but yes, it was exhilarating watching that game. Obviously watching penalties, watching your team take penalties is terrifying. The heart rate is extremely high. It's very hard to watch, but when your team wins and pulls through like they did, I mean, it's worth everything in the world, isn't it? So, Kivior last night again was phenomenal in that left back position. Getting forward again, you have to realize that this is a 21-year-old center back by trade, filling in as a fullback. He's getting forward. He may not be inverting as Zinchenko may do, or Timber, or even Ben White has been doing, but the job that he's doing defensively. I mean, there were times, 2 or 3 times maybe, I looked to the guys next to me at the bar and said, if that was Zinchenko, there's no way he defends like that. And it is a relief to see your defenders, all of them, defending. Zinchenko, when he came on, he was all right. A couple good tackles, actually, towards the end of the game. But again, standing up, the way he protected the ball, Kivior, the way he protected the goalkeeper. I think he had one misplaced pass the entire game. He was phenomenal. Jacob Kivior was phenomenal last night. Very, very impressed. I continue to be impressed by him, in fact. Again, the insight of Mikel and the trust even to have him play in that position, really, really well done by him last night. Odegaard, I just spoke about him. He's phenomenal, this player. The way he set up that goal for Trossard, the finish was very, very good. I think if you're in that position and you're clear on goal and you don't at least hit the target, or the momentum then goes Porto's way. So I think it was really, really important to score at the time that he did. We had a couple chances before that, but to put that goal away really set us up for the rest of the game, because Porto were going to do sort of counter-attack football, the cheek that lay down. I got a cramp. The player who got carted off, it looked like he got carted off for a cramp, and he missed the rest of the game. There's obviously a lot of that going into the game plan for Porto. Dirty, sort of old school football, and they got outplayed. It's simple as that. They got outplayed. A team that wanted it more. Sergio Conceição said it himself. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Arsenal came to play, we came to win. Well, it's Arsenal who got the win in the end, and deservedly so, in my opinion. I just want to say, I don't know if anyone else has picked up on this, but a couple of the guys that I was speaking to at the bar, again, in both legs, Saliba doesn't quite look like himself, does he? He looks a little bit nervous at times. That confidence, it's not quite there. I think it's, Europe is obviously a different beast. The Champions League is a different beast itself. So it's normal, I suppose, that a player is a little bit off their game. But last night, the way I saw him moving around, and maybe it's just me, I'm not sure, but if you see, or if you feel the same way, that maybe his confidence isn't as high as it is in the Premier League, let me know. Get a comment in below, or tell me your thoughts on that, because I swear he isn't as confident as he is in the Premier League, whether that's passing, defending, the way he would shield the ball in the Premier League, let a ball go out of bounds. But it's not too big of a deal. It is a little bit worrying, I think, in my opinion. But again, those are just my thoughts. I didn't think he had a poor game whatsoever last night. I thought Gabriel again was a colossal in that back line. Ben White played really well, and a big shout out to Pepe. Obviously, 42 years old now. He was fantastic last night. He was really, really good. Didn't show his age whatsoever. Very, very important to that defense and that team. Captain for a reason. One of the veterans in European football for a reason. There was a time where Arsenal were trying to, set that offsides trap. Trying to beat it. And you saw Pepe talking to his defenders right before the ball went. And as Arsenal moved back, they all moved back and trapped all of them offsides. I think it was a Saliba header, as a matter of fact. So really smart defending. I mean, I said this in my first video that they were a poorly coached side. They really aren't. I mean, I take that back completely. They are a very good side. It's just a shame that the way that they play is this time wasting. They seem to have shitty attitudes. And speaking of shitty attitudes, the coach, Kosen Sao, what he said about Mikel after the game, refused to shake his hand. He said the same thing about Tuchel, about Pep Guardiola, comments defaming family or whatever it is. Now, I very much doubt that Mikel would say something like that. Even if he did, the Porto coach is saying that the person he spoke about is no longer with us. I assume that means he's passed away. Even if Mikel did say something like that, how was he supposed to know that in the first place? They both were yellow carded on the sideline for disagreeing with the referee's call, which I agreed with both of them about, by the way. It's funny when you see the referee giving a card, you don't quite see the player, but you see him walking. And I looked at a guy at the bar, we both said that must be for Arteta, and Koton Sao was booked like 10 minutes later maybe. So it is a real shame because they are clearly a good side, well-coached, disciplined side. But that discipline comes with their game plan, which is basically taking the piss out of every team that they play, especially Arsenal. They know how good this side is, and it took Martin Odegaard really to unlock that defense, which again is a very solid defense. So I do want to say that kudos to them. Galeno missing the penalty, sort of written in the stars, wasn't it? That screamer that he scored in the first leg, and I was looking at David Raya. Really, I mean, just fantastic, both those saves. Being interviewed, he said he almost wasn't happy. He said he should have saved 3, and really he could have. Really, really good two saves from him. I saw from a Brentford player, a Brentford fan, saying that he hadn't saved a penalty for, I think he said, was it 9? I don't know, 6 years was it? I can't quite remember now, but Ramsdale perhaps not the strongest in saving penalties. He looked happy after the game. Really happy to see him embracing Raya. And penalty shootouts, really, it is the goalkeeper show, isn't it? Because you're not expected to save 3-4 penalties. Maybe 2 is even a good shout. And he did that, and he did that well. Again, like I said, could have saved 3. In the end, that's how winning on penalties. Arsenal are through. That's what it takes. This is what it takes. Arsenal and Arteta adapting to this European competition. Champions League is a much different beast. I just said that when I was talking about Saliba and his sort of, to me at least, the way he looked worried when he was playing, not quite himself. It's a different atmosphere. Knockout football is show up or get out, and I thought they showed up in the first leg. I thought the referee, let's not touch too much about the referee in the first leg. I thought last night the referee, decent, but he stopped letting things go, stopped letting them play, I think, later on in the game. Sort of made it a little bit about himself, I think. Was less willing to control the game, more willing to just let things go. Bunch of Porto players I thought could have been booked. But again, the luxury of going through is you don't have to focus on that thing. So let's not do that. I'd rather not. Let's just get back to saying I think Mikel is learning. He's adapting. Again, a young coach, a very young team. Most of them haven't been in this stage. I think Jesus, Zinchenko, Thomas Partey maybe have been in the last 8. Again, I don't quite know. There may be a couple other mixed in there. Overall, it's a very young team. our captain Martin Odegaard hasn't been in the last 8. Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Saliba, Gabriel, all of these players are new to this, and Mikel himself is new to this. So it's going to take time. Can we win the Champions League? I who knows, right? Certainly not favorites, but we will give the next team a run for their money. That is for sure. Next game, we have a bunch of days off, 21 days off, I think, or 20 days off until we play City at the end of the month. Maybe a Dubai trip in the future. Get those engines refilled, get the fuel going, get another performance that we can lead off of and keep the momentum moving. If we can beat City and do the double over City, it will do wonders for the confidence of this football team, and beat them away at that. We know we did the double over Leicester 2016, still lost the league, so doing a double over the league favorites doesn't really win you anything except confidence. So you need to take what you can, build off of it, and keep going forward. So guys, that's a long video for me. Arsenal are through to the last 8. I'll be watching the games today. I think the draw's on Thursday or maybe Friday. I may do a video for that. I'm not quite sure. But again, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you made it this far, I do really appreciate it. And I'll see you when I see you.